What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to G-Miles World Podcast, and today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Football, Week 5, the end of Week 5, 2022 NFL, and all that you're going to really know about this whole podcast is the fact that the Raiders are 1-4, and Devante Adams absolutely is done with Derek Carr. Like, he's absolutely furious, bro, and he has good reason to be very, very upset with Derek Carr, based on the fact that we already know, like I said, I was out on Derek Carr for a while. Even when he was playing well, I don't know if you guys remember when he was playing well that year that he got injured and they lost in the playoffs. It's always been something about him where he just has not been able to perform consistently at the highest level. Big arm, has a lot of potential, just makes he makes the wrong plays. And honestly, with the way everything works out, this is where you go to a situation right now where Devante Adams, right, he's facing discipline from the league, possibly even a suspension, for pushing a credential worker to the ground after his team's loss. Now, you know how sometimes you get upset and you take your frustrations out on somebody else other than the person that you have the issue with? This is a prime example. Okay, it's a prime example of it. Like, he was wishing in his mind that was actually Derek Carr. It's like, yo, bro, you right here, somebody got to get it. Now, this is unacceptable, but you can see that he did tweet out, sorry to the guy I pushed over after the game. Obviously very frustrated at the way that the game ended. And when he ran in front of me as I exited, that was my reaction, and I felt horrible immediately. That's not me. My apologies. Man, hope you see this. Now, he's absolutely right. That's not him. Up until this point, I haven't seen anything that would show that he would lose his cool like this. And I do believe that they should not go crazy on him with that, because I looked at it afterwards. If you guys go back, like, if you search that play with him pushing him, it's sort of like they usually do this. Like, they'll jump in front of you, they'll do stuff. And I just think that it got the best of him. This is not who he is. So I do believe that, there should be some kind of situation where it's like, okay, they shouldn't react crazy when it comes to him like that, because he's not a repeat offender. It was a bad judgment call. He was very, very frustrated. They were beating the Chiefs pretty well. Like, they were beating them pretty good. And I can't even get into the fact that Patrick Mahomes he's just him. Now, some of the throws he made, I've never, like I said, I've been watching football a long time. Some of the throws that this man makes, I don't know how he does it. The podcast should really be about that. But then what happens is when things like this happen, people need to understand, when you do things like this, it takes away from everything else that happened. Now, you're not going to hide the fact that the Raiders are 1-4. Like, I don't know if that was his whole situation of trying to do that. You're not going to hide that fact, but it's just going to bring out something, and now you jeopardize your security with the league, because you can't, again, I don't care what happens to you in the game. If nobody's doing anything to you physically, there's no reason to do it. So yes, it's wrong all the way through. I'm 100% with everyone with that, but I do understand the frustration. Again, he left Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has no idea what he's doing. All Aaron Rodgers is doing is looking like hot trash, losing to the Giants, since Devante Adams left. And Devante Adams is not looking like Devante Adams of old. Late in that game, I know you guys saw the throw that Carr made. He made one decent throw to the right side, and he couldn't get his feet down. That would have gave him a field goal chance to actually beat the Chiefs. But throughout the game itself, Derek Carr did not play well consistently enough. After they started off hot, he just completely simmered down in the second half. So again, with the way that this works out, with the way the Chiefs are playing, I like that, because Tyreek Hill had a lot of excuses about why he went to the Dolphins. And everybody thought that, Mahomes couldn't perform without him. But people forget about Travis Kelce. And I don't know why, because the dude is he's him. The dude, he's going to get open in the red zone and do whatever he wants. And that's what we saw last night. When all fails, if it's not all about the deep threat when it comes to, Travis Kelce's situation, he's going to do everything to get that touchdown. He's great in the red zone. And then he has other receivers. He's 2 or 3 guys to replace Tyreek Hill. Now, I know, Juju Smith-Schuster's not the best. There's a lot of guys, Valdez-Scantling. They're guys, but they can get open. They have speed, and they can do things to help out. So I think the Chiefs are sitting pretty right now. But it's very unfortunate for the Raiders and their fans, because a lot of people really thought that, they were going to be able to do something. I don't really know how this is going to end with the season. But right now, they're 1-4. And, Adams had 2 long touchdown receptions on Monday, including one that cut the Chiefs' lead to 1 point in the fourth quarter. But again, in certain critical situations, it wasn't like Derek Carr's just doing whatever he wants. Like, it's sort of like this, right? You kind of know what's going to happen, no matter how good the talent is, that it's not going to work out. It's just simple like that. And I can show you proof over, a very, very long period of time where Derek Carr has just done whatever he wanted to do. Now, one of the other things that I want to point out, people were injured, but things like this happen. Darren Waller was out. We saw him sitting on the sideline. Adams collided with the Raiders wide receiver. I even tweeted it out like, yo, what are you guys doing? Late in the fourth, there was no pass interference call. The ball was overthrown, though. I don't think either of them would have made the catch because he just threw the ball like he was throwing it to the heavens at the end of the game. But even with those injuries, even with the things that are going on throughout the game, if he makes a couple more decent throws, everything is good. Like, it just comes down, like, football is crazy. It comes down to a couple of plays throughout the game where you just have to make that play. And that's not what happened. And that's where we are right now. So the Raiders are sitting at 1-4. There's a lot to be said about other players. I think the defense played pretty well. I think Jacobs balled out. I think he showed us on a prime stage that he can play. So even if they don't, sign him again, I think he's going to find a home somewhere else. He looked pretty good. But like I said, the Chiefs came out and they did what they had to do. All right, Chiefs came out, handled some business. Chris Jones, he sat out for like the last quarter or something, some kind of illness or sickness. But the Chiefs defense stepped up when they needed to. And it's just very, very unfortunate that this happened because this is what goes on with frustration when you're used to winning and getting number one seeds with the Packers. And then you go to the Raiders and everything seems cute. And then you start losing, but you care about winning. I don't really think Tyreek Hill cares as much about winning as Devante Adams does. But I think it was a lot of frustration about, Aaron Rodgers always retiring and unretiring, things like that made him leave. So he's like a different atmosphere. But again, when you start to lose and you change your atmosphere, it will have an effect on your body and your mind. Look, Devante Adams is human. And as much as people are going to go crazy, oh my God, whatever, it's unfortunate that it happened, and I don't agree with his actions, but this is not a reflection of him, in my opinion. If it was somebody else, like, Perfect and all these other guys that be doing wild stuff, okay, cool. But this is not a reflection of him. Very, very unfortunate, but this is what losing will do to you. And I just think based on the way that he reacted throughout the game and the frustration as the Chiefs came back, the 3 and outs and things like that, the bad decisions from Derek Carr, I think it all, bubbled up. And obviously, he blames himself for not getting both feet down. But the throw itself was kind of but you expect more from Devante Adams. And that's where we are right now. They're 1-4. Let me know what you think about it. Is he out on Derek Carr? I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.